Welcome back, guys. So I have a little itty bitty bit of stuff to go over today. Not too much. It wasn't a very exciting day. Me and the fiance just kind of laid around and watched a little bit of TV, went to eat, and I tried to do a little catching up. There's a Larvitar nearby. Today, I did go out and finish up some candies that I really needed. So I do want to run through some news really fast that's come out through the game. Of course, if you guys are halfway decent at keeping up with the news in this game, of course this is going to be old news to you. But of course we have Beldum Community Day this Sunday. It is going to be happening from 11 to 2 p.m. Pacific time. So that would make it 2 to 5 Eastern time. And then we do get an extra hour afterwards to evolve all of our Beldums to still get the Community Day move, which has been confirmed to be Meteor Mash, which is now we have 4 times egg hatching rates, which I will show you here. I have already incubated everything, and I'm really hoping that I can clear out a bunch of these between tomorrow and Sunday, because I'm really looking forward to some nice 10-kilometer eggs so that I can get the Riolu. What we were going to do, I did find a 998 Turtwig, which I have been holding on to. Its IVs are only 53, which is not even great. This Turtwig, when you appraise it, it's 15 attack. Or no, it's not 15 attack. I forgot to... Hang on. I'm going to go ahead and do Torterra. This is by far, as I've said a million times, this is definitely my favorite starter out of Gen 4, if not one of the best starters design-wise, period, for me. Torterra there, looking super cool. Boom, 2315. I am not ashamed of that at all. We do have a Bite and Solar Beam. There's Torterra. It's amazing. I'm so glad to have it. Let's go for Empoleon. See, it's weird because I really dislike the middle evolution, Prinplups. I really dislike his design. I don't know why. It just so happy to have Empoleon. I'm so happy to already have all the starters out of the way. It's great. So Metal Claw and Blizzard, not the best moveset, but it's all good. So let's go ahead and do... It's odd that they went with the 25 and 100 here, because if you think about Pidgey was what, 12 and 25 or something like that. But Staraptor here, awesome. 2479, I'm not ashamed of that. 62, not the greatest IVs whatsoever. But, cool. Super stoked to have it. So there we go. And we'll go ahead and do our fortress here. So I did mention about the spawns in our last video. And the spawns aren't necessarily changing on a daily basis. I think I just misread information somewhere. Essentially what's happening is that the nest changed and the weather effects have now changed. So the weather effects... the weather boosting effects used to be basically like too good. What they did is they legitimately changed all of the spawns around you, and that apparently wasn't the intent. The intent was just to have more of that weather boosted Pokemon spawning, but it basically overrode too hard on all of the spawns. So what they've done is they've dialed that back to where basically I have actually been finding water Pokemon. It's great. I actually found a Squirtle today, which is the rarest of any of the starters for me. Maybe Totodile is probably rare. But I found one, which is nice because I never find them. Now that we've evolved, we're up to 18. We're 18 out of 26 that are currently from Gen 4 in the game. Of course, Pachirisu I'm not going to be able to get. Chatot I'm not going to be able to get. It's okay. So that brings me down to 24, which means I only have 6 left. Lopunny, Shinx, Luxio, and Luxray, and then I need... so we're still missing Shinx, Luxio, Luxray, Lopunny, Riolu, and Lucario. I'm going to go ahead and put a disclaimer out that if I hatch a Riolu, I will 100% spend the candies. Shinx, I just need to find some Shinx raids. It's been extremely scarce. I've seen 0 Shinx raid. I've seen 2 level 1s in the past 2 days, both Bidoof. Aww. There you have it. I'm up to 18 in the Pokedex. I'm super excited. I'm so glad that it's out of the way, that I'm slowly moving towards my 24. I need 24 to really lock down what I can get. So only 6 away. That's going to be my goal for the next probably week, 2 weeks before they do this Halloween event, because I'm sure that the Halloween event is going to come and it's going to show Giratina as our next raid boss. Also, a note on that. Mewtwo is leaving on the 23rd, which is Tuesday. Niantic likes to release news on Tuesdays, and they like to make some decent updates on Tuesdays. Now, that's not a for sure thing. Gen 4 was released on a... They were released on a Tuesday. Never mind. So Gen 4 was released on a Tuesday, so it's very possible that the week before Halloween, we're going to get the Ghost event or the Halloween event or whatever, and the 23rd would be a perfect time, since Mewtwo is leaving, that they're going to introduce Giratina. And if they introduce Giratina, we will be going to get Giratina day 1. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So, wait a minute. I'm covering up the data. Hang on. There we go. So, I have taken information from GamePress. Full disclaimer, all of the information that I'm about to show you and give a link to in the description is 100% not mine. I am not trying to claim it as my own. I took the information from GamePress, and I will actually show you here. I used this right here. The only reason that I wanted to create a spreadsheet for it is because the formulas for getting the moves and what you want can be kind of confusing. If you don't want to sit there and type them out and figure out what you need, then you can just go to this spreadsheet and you can use them. It's your personal preference, either way you want to go. What I did is I took all of the types, all 18 types, and I took each type that has stab moves. So let's talk about Torterra. Alright, so on the left we've got our grass stab attackers, meaning that the Pokemon itself has 2 moves, a fast move and a charge move, that both are grass type, because we want to figure out what is the highest DPS for that type. Okay? So what I did is I took and ran all of the numbers for all grass type attackers who have a grass fast and a grass charge move. What that allows me to do is to see all of the grass type Pokemon that are going to have super effective damage against a potential target. So let's look at Torterra. Torterra is a grass and ground type Pokemon, and our moves... Why don't we have moves on here? Okay, so what we have here on the left, we have our grass type attackers, and in the center here we have Torterra. Okay, so we're going to look at Torterra for a second. His moveset is actually going to be Razor Leaf and Solar Beam for his top rated moveset. Okay, so if we look on our list on the left, you can actually see that Roserade is going to become the highest DPS grass attacker. With Razor Leaf and Solar Beam, she will do the most super effective damage and the best stab DPS, out of any other grass type attacker. But if you take a look, her total damage output is way lower than Tangrowth. This spreadsheet is built so that if you want to look at any type of stab move sets that you have for your Pokemon, you can basically reference this sheet and figure out how high it ranks. Or if you want to go after the top attacker for each type, you can easily do that. So grass types, you're going to be looking for Roserade as the top grass DPS. So Empoleon is actually right here. With Waterfall and Hydro Pump, he does almost 13, here again, almost 13 DPS. He actually does fairly well when it comes to Steel. Almost 12 DPS with 354 as his total damage output. He's definitely in the top 10, but there's only 18, Steel type attackers that have both Steel fast moves and charge moves. So because Torterra doesn't have a fast type ground move, he can't really, be in my list, but let's go over and look at Infernape. Yeah, way down here. Fire Spin and Flamethrower. It does a little over 14 DPS. He has a total damage output of 320. Just for, comparison's sake, Entei is considered an okay fire attacker. A lot of people definitely prefer Moltres, bar none. But Entei does a lot better than Infernape when it comes to fire attacking. So looking at fighting type, I think that's awesome. Breloom is... Whew. Let's look at Infernape here. Is this the first one? Yeah, Infernape with Rock Smash and Close Combat, doing just a little over 12 DPS. Total damage output's 274. That's nowhere even close to Machamp. Machamp still does well over 100 there again. So Infernape's not hitting on a whole lot, but he's definitely cool. The one odd sheet that I do have is overall, that is every type with every moveset that is possible. This one is really just so that I can see who the top DPS is, period. So you can already see that Deoxys, of course, is going to take the cake for a lot of this. He just has such a high base attack that it's insane for him to go up against anybody and not be able to output tons of damage. Without even stab, without anything, he's going to be able to do 21 DPS, which is just nuts. His TDO is only 102, so it's not like he's going to survive very long, but whoo! Rampardos. So Rampardos got Smackdown. Smackdown is a huge move for him because that puts his DPS really high, and his TDO is really high. 370 on TDO, that's nuts. That actually makes him have a higher DPS than Garchomp, which is insane to think about. But of course Garchomp's TDO is going to be way higher. I mean, Garchomp's TDO is 630. That's nuts. That's huge. My camera just cuts off after 30 minutes of recording. So we're going to come back to this eventually, and we're going to talk about going up against Giratina and what Pokemon are going to be able to output the most stab damage against Giratina to help you take out Giratina as quickly as possible. Of course, with him being a tier 5, you're going to have plenty of time, hopefully, because when he releases, everybody's going to be trying to go after him, so there's going to be plenty of people in your community going, but it's always nice to be able to help out the most that you can and not just sit there and use Aggron. So with everything that we've learned today, I really appreciate you guys hanging out. Get ready for Community Day, and let's get out and get some shiny Metagross. I am super, super excited for shiny Metagross. He's the coolest shiny to debut in this game for a long time. I'm super excited to see it. I will be playing. We actually are a part of the Facebook group now, so we may actually be hanging out with a large community during Community Day. I may ditch them because I really want to maximize chances for shiny. So with that being said, I don't think there's anything else that I meant to talk about today. There's not much to check off the list. I need to go through and actually put all of my Gen 4 stuff on the list so that we can go ahead and get that underway. But I will show off the list a little bit today so we can mark off the things that we caught. And I will see you guys later.